Shalom, shalom, shalom. What's going on? Shalom, shalom, shalom. What's going on? Whoa. Got to check the mute on the mic. Well, shalom and greetings to everyone. Thank y'all for tuning in. I hope everyone's doing well out there. Hope everyone's doing well. Blessings to the family. Shalom, shalom, shalom. I hope everyone once again is doing well. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll give you a few minutes to jump in here. It's been a few days or few weeks or so, since a few days since doing the live. I think I did one traveling to Shabbat on Saturday. I'm sorry, traveling to Shabbat on Saturday for a few minutes, whatnot. So hope everyone's doing well. Here in Atlanta, the weather is changing. Man, I've been having a lot going on. Changing my eating habits, my diet, all of that stuff, eliminating some of the red meat, a lot of the red meat, actually eliminating a lot of that, backed off of fried foods. So no fried foods and no red meat. And it's been awesome, man. Been having been feeling a whole lot of energetic. Because of course, I don't eat pork or anything like that. And then I was starting back. At one point in time, I had lost about 30 pounds on the keto, but I end up now this time I was going to try it again, but I decided, nah, my body wasn't feeling too well with it. So now I am adjusting with intermittent fasting as well as cutting out the red meats. And so no more beef for me for quite some time, but it's been cool, been shedding gradually, been shedding some pounds, and it's been an awesome time. So for those of you out there, if you are interested in definitely, in weight loss or something like that, I would say the best motivation is to cut out red meats, fried foods. You eat as much chicken as you want, but also I would say definitely adjust on when you eat. And so intermittent is definitely, it also heals the body. Fasting is good. Definitely, it should be something that as Israelites we should be accustomed to, because it should be a part of our lifestyle anyway. But it's probably not, most of us probably don't fast as much and as properly as we should anyway. Shalom to you as well, Sister Pamela Anthony. I don't know if your name doesn't look familiar, so if you're a new subscriber, welcome to the channel. I appreciate you for subscribing here at Boom. If you're in the Atlanta area, Jacksonville, Florida area, Akron, Ohio, Houston, Texas, Louisville, Kentucky, Eastman, Georgia, or anywhere of that nature, definitely check out our website, and we would love to have you come and fellowship with us at one of our assemblies. All right, but you can check out the website at boomchurchint.org. All right, hallelujah. General War, man, Shalom, Boom family. See y'all this Shabbat. All right, blessings to you as well. We look forward to seeing you. Make sure you bring the tambourine, sir. You and your wife, bring the tambourine. Definitely. And kids is going to be, since last week, man, we got some more kids. So the Most High is growing us here in Boom, Atlanta. Pamela Anthony says, I am a new subscriber. Awesome. Sister Pam, where are you from? Where are you subscribing from? What city and town? Awesome. He says, I went from 365 to 239 being intermittent fasting. Awesome, man. That's awesome, bro. That's awesome. Yeah, man. Definitely. That intermittent fasting is definitely something better than it works better than just trying to straight diet. Shalom to you as well, Sister Leggett. What's going on? Shalom to you as well. I know some of you may have saw the panel discussion. I will be putting up more clips, and then ultimately I'm going to put up both full panel discussions from the conference that was here in Atlanta. I'm talking about, man, listen, I can't even wait I'm not in the US. Okay, awesome. Well, greetings to you and welcome, and thank you for subscribing, and feel free to hang out with us anytime we go live or anytime we post videos. Listen, man, I'm still gassed up and on high from the conference. About 2 weeks ago, I've been getting so many emails and things like that from people who didn't show up to the conference that was here for whatever reason, but we just thank the Most High that the clips from the conference have been fruitful, and brothers and sisters have been really enjoying it. We're already gearing up for 2024, which will be here in Cartersville, Georgia, once again at the same location. And next 2024 going to have some different speakers. Listen, also Passover is coming. Boom, Passover here in Atlanta is coming. We ship by next week. There should be a link on our website to be able to go and register for the Passover here in Atlanta. If you have not participated, if you have not celebrated, if you have not commemorated a Passover and you want to with the Boom family, all right, feel free to make sure that you get your tickets. They will consist of it'll be the 4th. I think we have the 4th. I think April 4th. I think it's that Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's the first week in April. The 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th is that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and we check out on on Sunday. Oh, Pamela, all right, yes, that's my cousin, Pastor Kelly. He was a speaker at the conference as well. And so, listen, y'all, I want to say something too. I don't know what's going on with YouTube, but YouTube, I am not even getting. Listen, I am not even getting. Normally, if I upload a video and schedule it for a premiere, I normally get the notification, okay? I normally get a notification. I don't know what's going on with YouTube, but I'm not even getting the notifications. I'm not even getting notification, and I'm scheduling the videos, all right, to be premiered. And normally you get a notification 30 minutes before the 30 minutes before the video airs. I'm not even getting notification, and other people saying they're not getting notification. I don't know what in the world they doing with YouTube, but they need to get their mind right. All right, they need to get their mind right. So listen, brothers and sisters, those that are watching now and those that will watch later, make sure you go and resubscribe and hit the bell, okay? Because they got some crazy stuff going on. What's going on, Mr. Blacktastic, aka Dr. IJ West in the building? What's going on? Listen, I'm still gassed up off the conference. I'm telling y'all, man, we still talking about it. We can't wait for 2024. We're going to have some new speakers, some current speakers from this year. It's going to be even bigger. We dealt with finances and things like that. I'm getting them, but sometimes I don't know what's going on with that stuff, man, with YouTube. We got some great stuff going on. We're adding some things, adding some things to next year for the Jeremiah 23-3 conference here. So we got more stuff we're adding. We're going to have some awesome speakers, new speakers, current speakers, all of that. It's going down. Also, we're growing as a ministry. We're thankful to the Most High for that. Been tilling the ground for quite some time. We're growing as a ministry. We're in the season. 2023 was our biggest year for visitors at Boom, and so at all of our locations. So that's been an awesome thing, and we've just been praying for a specific group of people. I want to encourage y'all. Listen, all right, I want to encourage y'all with this. No more vague prayers, okay? I want each and one of y'all to listen to me right now. Listen, it's time to mature. Here's what I mean. No more vague prayers, Israel. It's time to mature. What I mean is, it's time for you to be specific with what you want the Most High to do for you. And I'm talking about asking him asking him for things that's in his will. I'm not talking about asking him to give you somebody else's husband. That's not what I'm saying. Okay. I'm not telling you, ask him to give you somebody else's wife. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about be very clear and specific. Okay. If you applied for 5 jobs, don't just ask the Most High, well, Most High, whichever one you want. It's time for you to be specific. This is the one that you want. You know within your heart that's what it is. So it's time for you to say it. All right. And I'm not talking about get online and all this other stuff. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you are in personal conversation with the Most High, you talk to him specifically. Everything starts at home. Okay. Listen to what I'm telling y'all. Listen to what I'm telling you. If we're going to be the people, if we're going to be the people of the book, if we're going to, this Bible going to be about us, then we got to be about it. Okay. We have to be, everything starts at home. Your prayer life starts at home, not on the internet. Okay. It's time to mature. It's time to mature. Everything starts at home. Your prayer life is more than just a time schedule that you've scheduled every day for 5 minutes. It's time to mature. It's time to pray beyond your 5 minutes. It's time to pray beyond you just driving to work, talking to the Most High, going in on lunch break, or talking to the Most High, and that's it. After you get off work, you don't talk to him no more. You don't hear about him, none of that. Everything starts at home. This type of conversation that I'm having, that I'm talking about, that ain't what that's not what people want to hear. There's a certain conversation that we want to hear as Israelites. I'm talking to you, those that are at home or those that are trying to really get an understanding of what the Most High require of you. These things start at home, okay? We just had the panel discussion, just aired about 15 minutes of the panel discussion. About 15 minutes of the panel discussion, okay? Your reparations start at home first. It's no different than calling someone a sinner. You can't call someone a sinner if you are a sinner at home. Even the Bible speaks against that. You can't talk about what somebody else eye and you got something in your own. If you are not a good steward over money, the Most High is not blessing you with no finances. Period. Period. Now, folks can get mad all they want. I don't care. Because somebody got to say it. Period. Point to the blank. You're not a good steward. Don't look for no financial blessings. Why? Why shouldn't you look for it? You know why? Because why should the Most High give you something that you're going to turn to a curse anyway? There's no need for the blessing to become a curse to you. You know how many people that have hit the lottery and are broke, can't even buy a hamburger? You know why? Because they were not good stewards. They were not good stewards. You spend every single thing. You spend every single thing. Everything that comes through your hands, you spend it. You don't understand the importance of value. And many of us don't even understand the importance of delayed gratification. Delayed gratification. We don't even understand the importance of delayed gratification. We don't even understand the importance of not buying something and you have it to buy. Let me tell you something. Let me give you a prime example. One of my lawyers, right? I'm gonna give you an example. One of my lawyers, okay? Shalom, shalom, Sister Rashida. Let me give you a prime example of someone who is not an Israelite, okay? If I were to introduce you to one of my lawyers, and I took you to his office here in Atlanta, which is in a very expensive, lucrative area in a very expensive tower. When you walk through the door, you automatically expect an attorney to have on a suit, be fly, decked out. Nope, not this guy. This guy has on loafers that I know he's in his mid-50s. I know he had these same loafers since college. I know he had these same loafers since college. Okay? When he probably was 20. These things are so scrubbed up and scruffed up. The pants, they've been washed, these khaki pants probably been washed 50 times. He has on a collared shirt with no polo on it. And this thing don't even look like it's been wrinkled. I mean, it's iron, it's wrinkled. This is what this guy wears. So with my curious self, because I'm always curious about why do people, and I've always asked these questions, why do people with money, with finance capabilities, why that are not us? Now, here's what I'm saying, that are not us, that are not a Negro or African-American in America, why do they always look that way? But we always look like we got the status and we look like we the billionaires. And we are the brokest of the broke. And yet these guys, they always ask the question, hey man, listen, why do you, what type of car do you have? The guy drives a Mercedes, okay? The Mercedes that he drives ain't a 2023. The guy drives a 2018 Mercedes-Benz. His wife, she has the nicer car, the nicer SUV Mercedes. But none of his clothing that he wears, he's not out here trying to buy all the Louis. He ain't out here trying to buy all the Gucci. He ain't out here trying to do, you know what the guy says? The guy says this, I will live when I retire. So this explains why you see when you're driving on the road and you see someone from Quebec, Canada, driving to Miami, and they're about 75, 80 years old. You know why? And if you talk to that gentleman, he'll probably tell you he worked his younger years, his middle age years, to make sure that his kids didn't have to pay for college. Once his kids and everything finally got out of college and all this other stuff, then him and his wife lived. I don't understand. Our mentality is to ball out and live now. It's to ball out now. Oh man, what? I already know. I already know. Okay. If we as a people were to be given reparations, I already know. Here's the thing. Why don't we do a poll and find out how many people still have the money that was given to them by the government during the time, okay, during the time of the pandemic. Because some of y'all had about 5 kids. And I know some of y'all got some big checks. How many people still got the money that was given to them? I talked to my wife about it. I said, I guarantee you that majority of us Black folks are broke. We didn't save none of that money. You know why? Because I saw people shopping. I saw people doggone buying rims. I saw people buying cars, all this stuff. Clothes, going on trips, all that type of stuff. How many of us still got money left from the PPP loan that folks took out? And guess what? The PPP loan, I know it's a whole lot of our people that did not tell the truth. That didn't tell the truth that they had businesses and companies and all this other stuff and all these type of employees. You don't have that company at all. You don't have that many employees at all. And yet they turned around and they gave some of y'all $50,000. And you got away with it. You got forgiveness on it. And guess what? You know what most of the people that I know, I'm just going to talk about the people that I know, because I don't want to bring an indictment against everybody. Most of the people that I know that had that money, they didn't even go back to work. You know what they did? They lived off of that 50,000 and now they're broke. So what do y'all want the Most High to do? What do y'all expect the Most High and his infinite wisdom to do? We'll kill each other over it. This stuff started home. And guess what? And I get it. Most of us didn't have parents to tell us, hey, you can stay home and save your money and all. Most of us had parents at 18 years old when we graduated. Before 2 months before graduation, our parents was trying to find out what you gonna do. Before you going to college, you going in the military, or you gonna get a job? What you gonna do? And you know what? Those were the 3 options that most of us had. Those were the 3 options that most of us had. You know why? Because those were the 3 options that their parents gave them. But the buck stopped in the Brown house. The buck stopped in the Brown house. There will not be a transition with those 3 options. Not our children. So I'm not going to blame nobody else. What I know where the problem, see, the point is most of us haven't even investigated, nor do we even care to find a solution of what the problem is in our own family. What's up, Elder? Instead of you looking around at everybody else, maybe you need to go and talk to your mama and your parents and find out why you in the current situation you in, and you can find a way to fix the solution. The solution in my house is our children, we sit them down. Hey, are you going to college? Okay, guess what? Our job is to find, okay? Our job is to find every scholarship available out there. And guess what? We did. Shout out to my wife, Lady Emma Brown. See, I can turn around and say, you know what? We're going to have a class about how to make sure that we find out, with these school scholarships and things like that for our children. And I'll put it out on YouTube. And guess what? I might get 5 people to show up. A free class, because y'all don't want to hear that. Y'all don't want to hear about that. Y'all don't want to hear about educating yourself about that. You want to hear about how can you educate yourself on biblical history? How can you educate yourself on all this other stuff to prove to somebody else how wrong they are? Y'all don't want to hear about how to better yourself. You want to point the finger, but you don't want to figure out how to better yourself. But I'll take the 5. I appreciate the 5. I appreciate the 5 that show up. But that's not what y'all want to hear. And this is the reality. Y'all don't want to hear this, what I'm saying. But guess what? It's fine. It's fine. But by the time our children, their children won't be able to say, my parents gave me 3 options and I got to get out. No, they'll be able to say that my parent took advantage of the gift and the responsibility of my grandparents to make sure that the rest of our line don't have these situations and these problems. See, I can control and fix what's in my sphere and in my house. And I'm not looking for nobody else to shift blame. I'm not looking for that. And I also want to make sure that the people within our congregation have this understanding as well. We homeschool. Our son graduated from high school, has a good, decent paying job. Our daughter is about to graduate. She gets all kind of academic letters and opportunity. Our last 2 children have been homeschooled. Our 3rd child was having, they tried to diagnose him, have problems and all this other stuff. And talking about he had educational problems. Okay, when he was in 1st grade and all that. My wife was like, man, forget it. I told my wife, no, we're taking him out of school. No, we're taking him out of school. The kid is smart. The issue is that there are 30 kids in the school. And some children require a certain amount of attention or a certain amount of time. See, it's important for you to investigate and learn your child. And not only learn your child, but not be codependent upon a system to give you something. Once you don't become codependent and you can stand on your own and you're not looking for a handout and nobody giving you nothing, then you can turn around and understand how the system works against you. This is why when I talk to brothers who have been in the penal system, the quickest solution to end the incarceration rate within our community is to stay out of situations that get you in trouble. Now, again, that's not saying that there won't be some type of situation that occurs. But 85% of the time, our people go to jail is because they put themselves in a situation. And this starts at home. You teach your children. You teach your children how to discern and recognize. And I'm not talking about discerning spirits. I'm talking practically discern and know when someone is for you and someone is against you. So when situations go down, they can easily withdraw themselves from the situation and the person before they get in a position where they can't get out of. I was blessed to have a mother and a stepfather, because my stepfather is the one who taught me. He came in my life when I was around 5 or 6 years old. So I look at him as my father, because my stepfather is the one who taught me how you don't have to spend everything you get. He the one taught me those principles. You know why? Because his dad, his father, taught him those principles. So when he married a woman who had children already, as a man, he took the children in as his own. And he taught those children, because he don't have biological children. We became his spiritual biological children. Because my father, who shout out there, he was in Vietnam, he did all of that stuff, but he got involved with substance abuse. So now I'm being real with y'all 100. What make me tick and what drive me. So when I hear people talking and capping all online and talking all this craziness, I can tell when people ain't real. People ain't been in this. I understand when you're dealing with a brother who done been incarcerated. You know why? Because of the history of it in my family. I've been to jail too. I understand when you telling a brother on the block who's selling dope and selling drugs that, oh, he don't need to do that. I understand that too, because I used to do that. So guess what? I got my brothers and everybody else used to do that. Sister and everybody else used to do that. But here's the problem. Here's the solution. The solution ain't telling them. They know they're not supposed to be doing it. But none of y'all is going out and say, hey, come on, get in the car with me. Come get in the car with me. I'm going to take you to help you get a job. I'm going to take you to fill out an application. All you're doing is, let me, you know who you is in this, in the Bible? That man trying to survive. Go take him to sign up to get a job, then teach him he the people of the book. I don't care who get mad at all they want. I've been out here in the streets feeding folk. Had several brothers who come up to my car and say, hey man, hey, I need something to eat. I'm hungry. I told them to get in the car. I'm on live talking to y'all. I pull up to the doggone light and the brother come up to the door while I'm on live. Hey, can I get something to eat? Hey, I'm hungry. Hey, man, get in the car. I'm going to take you to get you something to eat. Then I'm asking, okay, where you staying at? I don't have nowhere to say. Well, okay, I tell you what, let's go to the hotel. I'm going to pay for you a couple of nights to stay in the hotel. I'm on live talking to y'all. I ain't right parading and flogging and all that type of stuff just to prove something to y'all. No, I'm talking y'all on live. It just so happened to run up at the light and the brother at the light. So miss me with all that talk. I don't care about the talk. Fucking talk all they want. I've been in several situations over the past 2 years about accusations. You know what? Discernment, because my mother taught me when people are not for you, you discern it early. So what you do, you withdraw yourself. See, now on the internet, they take that as a form of weakness. In the streets, that's wisdom. Y'all don't understand. And YouTube is a street. YouTube is a street. Is a street filled with people that's not from the streets, though. That's not from the streets, though. Or have anyone in their family that's from the streets like that. Intermediate family. So folk can miss me with all that other foolishness. I don't have time for it. This stuff started at the house. It starts at the house. Our kids got old enough, you know what we did? We made sure they have bank accounts. You know what my wife do? My wife ain't handicapping our children. Even sometimes myself, I'll be like, nah, my wife like, nah, they need to learn. You know why? You know why? Because my wife grew up the same way I did, but a little more harder. Yes, Lady Emma, as sweet as she is. I'm gonna let her come on here and tell her story one day about the type of home she grew up in. See, the home, I didn't grow up in the type of home she grew up in. Okay. She grew up in a home where everybody in the house you can't trust, except her grandmother. I didn't have in my inner home people I couldn't trust, but my cousins and family and everybody, we were involved in things and around people that you can't trust. That's a whole nother situation when you grow up in the house with people like that. So my world, I don't understand this passivity. I don't understand this internet talk stuff. I don't understand that stuff. When folks say certain things and how they come a certain kind of way, I don't understand that type of stuff. So when people are like, oh, that's internet beef, I don't understand internet beef. Because where I come from, there ain't no such thing as internet beef. You just don't talk and hide. I don't know. That ain't the type of stuff, that's not the type of world. It's a whole different world. So all I'm saying and what I'm trying to explain to folk is, this stuff started at the house. You teach your children how to recognize practically before we can even get into spiritual conversation, because half of y'all folks don't even understand the practical understanding of life. Before you can even start talking spiritual, you first need to recognize and teach your children. But if you can't even recognize the practical, I can't expect you to teach your children the practical. But for those of y'all who do understand the practical elements of things, you start at home with teaching your children how to recognize when someone is not for you. Then we can start getting into to discerning of spirits, because discernment and discerning of spirits is not the same thing. It's two totally different things. So this is why I'm always making sure that I teach my congregation and my family. And now I'm coming to speak to some of you about the practical understanding of things, but there's also a spiritual understanding of things. And if you don't understand both of these worlds, then you're going to get pimped and hustled in these internet streets. You're going to get pimped and hustled in these internet streets. So maybe some of you need to come offline, okay? Come offline and get in life. Some of you need to come offline and get on life. That's what some of y'all need to do. Because being on here, when you hit that log off, it's a real world. It's a real world. And some of you don't even pay your bills. Some of you in debt. Don't talk to me about nothing if you got debt. And I'm talking about debt that can be preventable. That's why some of you haven't even found a spouse. Some of you don't have none of this stuff together. The Most High is saving you from yourself. Who gonna get with you? And you don't even like to clean up. Who gonna get with you when you don't even pay your bills on time? Who wanna be with somebody like that? I'm talking practically now, unless it's somebody else that got the same situation, and then both of y'all broke. Can't keep a job and want to blame the white man. No. You can't keep a job because you don't show up on time. You can't keep a job because you want to smoke all day. You can't keep a job because you stay up all night. You can't keep a job because you're paranoid, all this other stuff. Some of y'all don't even understand even how to even get the Shabbat off, okay? This is a whole nother conversation here, boy. Some of y'all haven't even done the due diligence to research, to understand and find out how you get your job cannot fire you for having Shabbat off. You don't even know how to do that. Because you know what? You don't even care to know how to want to do that. You don't even care to want to know how to read and study that. You don't even care at all. So when I'm sitting back and I'm seeing people talk about, oh, well, I got the Shabbat, the Shabbat, they don't even grant the Shabbat. What? Ask the fucking Boom. Ask the fucking Boom, have they had problems? And we had one situation where one person did, and guess what? They just testified on Monday night on our prayer call about how they got their job, and even HR tried to fire them, get them fired, and the manager said, I will honor his Shabbat. At a white establishment too. So we up here talking this craziness, and we don't want to deal with burial insurance. We don't want to deal with savings accounts. We don't want to do saving no more. We don't want to hear none of that. We don't want to hear none of that stuff. We don't want to hear any of that stuff, because you know why? That don't move us emotionally, but it's good for you practically. It's good practically. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. While people around worry about if they're gonna lose their job because they didn't take the shot. Not me. You know why I wasn't worried about it? Because I filed my papers with my employer. I did the due diligence that I had to do, found the information that I need to find, did the research. We wrote that thing up, and guess what? Approved, Mr. Brown. Approved. While everybody running around acting like they crazy, folk in our ministry ain't have to worry about that stuff. Didn't have to worry about it. But y'all go ahead, keep on. Y'all go ahead, keep on. Keep going the way you're going. Keep doing what you're doing. Go right ahead and keep doing what you're doing. Do your thing, Israel. Do your thing. You'll be surprised that everybody ain't against you. You'll be surprised that all it takes for you to do a little study and research practically on some things, to educate yourself in certain areas. When we had this conference, it was imperative that we had education on bank information, had education. We even got a brother that's a part of our community, okay? That's a part of our community, all right? That's a part of our community that's in Denver, Colorado, with Morey Haroon, Brother Rashad. Brother Rashad did a whole teaching on helping the people at the conference about banking, about insurance, about how to leave an inheritance for your children. Then after that, at the end of the conference, he gave people game on the tax code on how to file the trip that they took to the conference, so they'll be able to file it as a write-off. Straight game. And he's in the NAACP. I'm trying to tell you, man, y'all, listen, man. I'm telling y'all, listen, I'm going to do my job to try to help y'all, but y'all got to help yourself. I'm going to do everything in my power. I ain't just out here talking. I'm not out here just moving and going here and going there. It's not just for my benefit, but I'm not begging nobody either. I'm not begging nobody to receive it. I'm not begging nobody to receive it. If you want it, the game is here. If not, do your thing. But don't hate on me, because I understand one thing. If you don't get outside of the sphere and the scope that you're in, you will continue to you will eventually turn into a fossil. Time will pass you by. And I don't have to compromise who I am in none of these circles. I don't have to, everybody know I'm an Israelite and proud about it. But one thing about it, I'm going to make sure if it's some game out here, I'm going to find out about the game. I'm going to find out about the game. I'm going to find out what's going on out here. Because guess what? If it worked for them, I know it can work for me. I know it can work for me. I'm going to make sure my family's straight. I'm going to make sure the people into my ministry straight. I'm going to make sure the people that are close to me straight. Now, everybody else, if that ain't what you want, I'm not begging you to do it. I'm not at all. But I'm telling you right now, you need to educate yourself. You need to educate yourself practically. And this stuff start at home. The internet is free. People are now willfully ignorant on all levels. They willfully ignorant on who the Israelites are. That's one thing. But here's the bigger problem. We ignorant on a whole lot more than the people who are ignorant on who Israel is. And that's facts. It started at home. It started at home. Some of y'all want to go back to school. What's stopping you? They got all kind of programs out here for you. People complain about, oh man, we don't, they teaching in those seminary schools, they teaching all that white man, the white church fathers and all that type of stuff. So guess what? I say, you know what? I'm looking around, I'm doing my investigation, I'm checking out everything. You know what? I say, you know what? That ain't gonna be my indictment, not for the people that know me. So guess what? Guess what I did? The Most High opened up a door for me to be able to partner with someone else who already has a structure in place, who gave me the go ahead and the leeway to rewrite the curriculum and everything for their particular school setup, gave me full authority as a director. So guess what? Now I can teach the Bible and I can teach Israelite understanding with no problem, no beef, and nobody controlling me or nothing. But that ain't what y'all want to do. So y'all want to sit around and say y'all don't have it, but do nothing about it. I'm tired. I don't have time for people that just talking and y'all ain't doing nothing about it. Okay, yeah, you see our people in the situation. Well, do something about it. Stop just talking about what the situation we in. Go be a solution in some kind of way. Go be a solution. Go be a solution. Everybody see it. Everybody see the problem, but how many people trying to be a solution to the problem? Go be a solution. Or get out my way. Go be a solution or get out my way. We got sisters around here going through all kind of stuff. It's sisters out here, they need dog. Some of our people, they got, what, do we have anybody? Do we have anybody in Israel willing, since we always talk about the trauma and the drama of our people, do we have anybody in Israel willing to go to school to be a therapist for our people? Y'all talking about the trauma, but is anybody going to school? Who's going to be willing to go to school so that way they can set up? See, y'all bang on these other people, but guess what? When they see a problem in their community, they send folk to school to go be a solution for their community. Who do we have in our community that's willing to go be a therapist or something to help with the trauma of our people and stop talking about it and do something about it? Go do something about it. We always talk, well, we the first one, we the first one fired and the last one hired. What do we have anybody in Israel can go start a business or some type of company to hire people in Israel? Go do something about it. Stop complaining. Because that's all we do. We got the energy to complain, but we have no energy to do nothing. Go be a solution for your community. It starts at home. It starts in Israel. Well, we wrongfully accused. Well, how many Israelite attorneys do we have? I can count 2 that I know of. 2. How many we got willing to go to school? How many do we got educating our children, sending them to school? It's never too late. Some of y'all are 25, 26 years old, 27 years old. That's Israelites. Go to school. Get educated. Become an attorney for our people. You don't trust the doggone doctors? You don't trust the doctors because they pushing all this other stuff? Well, how many of our people are willing to go to medical school to become doctors for our own community instead of sending our children, okay, to everybody else that we don't trust? See, we can really get down to the nitty-gritty when we start talking about stuff. Oh, well, they don't play our stuff on the radio. Well, okay, how many of y'all going on a FM station or an AM station and get a show? Boom Radio shouldn't be the only Israelite show on an AM and FM dial. It should be a whole lot of us out here on an AM and FM dial. Don't complain. Do something. Oh, we got all these artists and all this other stuff. Well, okay, we got all these channels we got. When is somebody going to put together an album with a group of Israelites and push it? This is what I'm saying, man. So when I hear this stuff, I don't have time for it. I don't have time to waste energy and time that I can't get back. I don't have time for it at all. Time is ticking. And I want to maximize every moment that I can to helping with the solutions and not just complain and talk about the problem. Everybody see the problem. Everybody see it. But if most of us who complain about it really actually got it in the game instead of being on the sideline talking about, well, I could do a better job than that person, but yet ain't doing nothing. It's always the employee that say, you know what, man, how they hired that person? How did they hire him to be the supervisor and the manager? Well, guess what? When somebody asks you to fill out an application, I don't want to be the supervisor. I don't want to be the manager. They ain't going to control me. They ain't going to tell me. Well, you ain't got nothing to complain about when they hire somebody that's unqualified, that's telling you to do something that ain't going to work. Because you who knew how to do it and had the solution. Instead, you talking about, well, I ain't going to be they ain't going to control me. You got all this talk on the sideline and somebody decide, you know what, I'm going to pick up the mantle, even though they don't know what the heck they doing. Somebody had to fill the job, but it's always the person that's complaining, the one that ain't going to do nothing. That ain't going to do nothing at all. Point blank, period. With that said, I'm signing off, man. Listen, everything starts at home. Sit down with your children. Sit down with your children. Some of y'all that are married couples, husbands, if you work on a job that have 3 shifts, you may have to sacrifice working in the morning to working in the evening. Let me help y'all. Me and Lady Emma did this. There were times when I refused to pay almost $300 a week in daycare. You know what I did? I didn't want to do it because I wanted something. I wanted to do things the way I wanted to do them because I wanted to have day shift. I wanted to be on day shift so I could be off in the evening. You know what I did? I told my wife, I'm going to sacrifice. I'm going to work more evening shift. So my wife worked morning shift. We took our baby out of childcare. I kept our son and our daughter at one time. I kept our children, okay? I kept our children in the daytime so that my wife could work. And when she got off, I would meet her halfway to give her the babies, and I go to work in the evening. That way, that cut out $300 a week in childcare. $300 a week in childcare. It was a time where we couldn't even eat out no more. Every single our freezer was loaded with leg quarters. Was loaded with leg quarters. That's all we could eat. Leg quarters, rice, and noodles. In our house with our children. We ate that thing boiled, we ate it baked, we ate it on the grill. You know why? Because chicken was the cheapest thing you can buy. Here they got a store called Kroger. At the time, a couple years ago, leg quarters was about $6 a bag. That's all we ate. We couldn't afford wings because wings was too high. So you know what we did? Every week, almost every night, it was either noodles, eggs, or leg quarters. That was it. That's all we had. That was it. You know why? Because we wanted to better ourselves. We figured out the game was debt would keep us from advancing. So you know what we did? We got rid of the things that would bring debt. Even if it cost us not being able to enjoy things of life at the present time. Now, because of those sacrifices. Now that people don't know our story and where we came from. Well, I had a car that the door was welded on the driver's side, and the only way I could get in the car was through the passenger side. Where I had to put a hole in a check because we didn't make enough money to last every 2 weeks. We were overdrafting. We give y'all a whole story of where we came from. People look at now like, well, around the world, they got 6, 7 congregations and they traveling and doing all this other stuff. See, y'all don't even know the backstory of this thing. People look at now, oh man, they worship too much over there. Boom. They not Hebrew enough over there. Boom. Negro worship got me through what I was going through. And you over here talking this craziness, not even knowing what the heck me and my family done been through. And you somebody talking about, well, that's too Christian, that's too, man, Negro, please, miss me with that. Miss me with that. Miss me with that. When we had about 8 space heaters plugged up in the wall around our whole house because we didn't have enough money to get the heater fixed in the house. So we had to go continuously buy electric heaters because they would run so long and burn up. When we had an ice storm here in Atlanta a few years ago, all the heaters broke except one. So guess what we all had to do? All the heaters broke except one. It's doggone about almost 3 degrees in our house. You know what we had to do? We had one heater that worked. Me, my wife, and my children, they all had to sleep. We all had to sleep in the same bed, in the same doggone room in order to stay warm because the rest of the house was freezing. And you telling me that that's too Christian the way I worship? I'm not Hebrew enough? Man, y'all better get out my face. I don't have time for this foolishness out of y'all. So that's why I act the way I act. That's why I move the way I move. Because I done been through stuff half these folks ain't been through. So y'all can miss me with that foolishness. And this is what I'm talking right now. Don't get it twisted. This is not me being angry. This is a righteous frustration because y'all don't get it. Y'all don't get what the Most High trying to get to y'all. All y'all care about is the other stuff, and y'all complain about stuff, and you don't even see the blessing in what you got. That's the frustrating part. You don't see the blessing in what you got. You don't see the blessing in it. And the opportunities with what the Most High, doors that the Most High open for you, things that y'all don't have to go through. You don't appreciate stuff. All you do is complain. All you do is complain. That's it. Murmur and complain. And history says that our forefathers murmuring and complaining did not get them into the promised land because they murmured and complained about everything. And Moses grew angry and tired of their complaining. They didn't appreciate nothing. They'd rather go back to doggone Egypt. Murmuring and complaining don't get you in the promised land, Israel. Don't get you into the promised land. With that said, I'm out, man. Signing off.